Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Bobby. This is the second episode of GNP's Nerd Off, and I'm here with Sean, last week's champion. I'm here with Joshua, and I'm here with Aaron. We have a lot of cool, actually 4 rounds of really cool topics today, different from last time. Best comic book hero is one of the questions. Best comic book villain. Best live-action superhero series. Most overrated superhero movie. 4 rounds. These guys came prepared. You didn't see it beforehand. There was a lot of slap talk going on around here, so I'm actually really excited for today's fight. So without any further ado, we'll just jump right into it, and we'll start off with round 1. All right, guys, everyone ready?
Yep.
All right, that's the spirit I'm looking for. All right. Each round is 10 minutes. Last time I actually extended some of the rounds, but this time I'm just going to keep it standard 10 minutes. I think everyone's familiar with the format now, so that it'll be a lot easier going through, transitioning with your arguments, making your point. Once again, as I've stated in the past, I'm completely objective in making my decision. I'm really just going to base it off of you guys' arguments, so make sure to bring it, make sure to make concise points, don't squander your time, and just do your best, have fun, and keep it passionate. I already know it's going to be passionate, so it's actually going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to read the question. We're going to start with Sean over there. And once I finish reading the question, we will start the timer. All right, so round 1. Best comic book superhero. Start with you, Sean.
So I went with Superman from Superman Action Comics, and he's Superman. You know him.
I went with Gina Drake from Guardian 3000, the Marvel series.
I went from Batman from my hat and my shirt.
Right. Yes, I think I read that one.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. Let's go, guys.
All right, well, wait. I want to go first because...
Okay, but I'm not going to let you...
attack Superman.
Okay,
well, I mean, I'm going to keep it up
very
because over time, Superman has gotten incredibly boring simply because of his powers. And one of the main reasons why people don't like him is because they claim that he's overpowered. I feel like I know you know that Superman's not the most overpowered character in DC.
He's not.
He's probably he could barely even make the top 50 list. But
he could make the top 50.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But whenever people come in the store and they say Superman's boring, I ask them, have you read All-Star Superman? Have you read Superman Earth 1?
Thank you for making my argument for me.
The story,
Very boring characters.
The story where Superman went back to, what was it, Kandor?
Yeah,
so
there's a few.
arguing with his cannibals. Those are a few. And a lot of them do say, yeah, I have read them. And if they still say it's boring, then they're right. Because it's just over time he gets boring. Because what are you going to do with all his powers? Most recently, they made Superman Unchained. They gave a little twist on his powers, but it just shows a different way to use it. But even then, it's still boring. And then they gave him shoulder flare so he could use his powers, but it was only interesting the first time to see him lose his powers, because then after 48 hours, he gets them back, and it's boring again. And it's been boring for 77 years, because he's only had 37 recorded filmography on his name, and in each and every show, movie, film series, animated TV show, he does the same thing. And it's always boring.
So I'm just gonna jump
nothing
in.
deep in the character.
Gina Drake is better than both of your choices.
Gina
Batman
Drake's
and Superman,
nobody.
Because Batman, exactly.
Your Wikipedia
Batman and Superman are not really characters; they're more ideas. Batman is the rich man, crazy, and Superman is the idea of a hero because he's the first one, right? Gina Drake, right? Superheroes come with a lesser and a greater aspect to themselves, which is why they're heroes, right? The lesser aspect is the fact that they're human, they think like us. The greater aspect is that they have a superpower. Gina Drake encapsulates both of them because she was a slave, which is the lesser aspect. She was, a human slave. When the Guardian 3000 come in to rescue her, she joins up with them and slowly grows to learning how to use her abilities, kind of, and, learning how to shoot things. Her ability was that she can, whenever there's a reboot or whenever time is messed up, she remembers that. And Gina Drake, that's her greater aspect, is because they need her to be able to achieve their mission. Whereas with Superman and Batman, there is no lesser aspect to them. Batman is always amazing, and Superman is always amazing, which makes them less superheroes and more like gods, or just blatant ideas.
Yeah, but,
which is why they tried to get rid of them so many times, or change them so much. Which with Gina Drake, there's no point to it, because it's still stable.
Gina Drake doesn't have the sheer history connected to Batman and Superman.
But
she came about not even in the original Guardians 3000 back in the 70s. She didn't come about until the more recent run before Secret Wars.
Yes.
And even that, as you said, her power is that she remembers alternate timelines. And I will concede that she is a hero. She has the hero's heart. But she is in no way the best comic book hero. I will say for Batman. Okay. So Batman, in and of himself, the thing that's supposed to be interesting about Batman, the thing that makes him like really good, is the fact that he's a human and he's hanging out with essentially gods. He does more godly things, especially now, than any of the other characters. We'll ignore the dark side war that's going on now, because everyone has god powers. But his superpower is Batman always wins. Even when he's fought Superman, people are like, oh, well, he beat Superman. He beat Superman in The Dark Knight Returns.
A non-canon story.
An out-of-canon story before Superman's power set was clearly defined. And the second time is in Hush, where Batman loses. The only reason he fights to a draw. He's like, I can't beat Superman, but I can get him to stop kicking my ass. Let me shove Lois Lane off the roof. But Batman in and of himself, like he said, he's a crazy person. Superman, I will concede that his power set, with time, you could argue is boring, but the thing about Superman that is so great, that makes him the best comic book hero, is he's not human. He's gone through all of this kind of trying to fit in with us, and he does, more often than not, current Truth, Savage Dawn story arc aside. And it's the fact that we can relate to this godly character. He harkens back to, like, traditional myths, where, like, gods were inherently flawed. Superman's flaw is that he considers himself human. Whereas Batman, for all of his he's supposed to be humanness, he's utterly detached from pretty much everyone that's not the Bat family, to the point where the big twist at the end of him coming back from the dead time travel nonsense at the end of Final Crisis is that he realized that he's not alone. And I feel like he should have realized that after going through, at that point, canonly, 5 Robins, 3 Batgirls, and Azrael, and several other replacements. All of his replacements, who are inspired by him, turn out to be nut jobs. We have, when he goes on hiatus after Infinite Crisis, he gets Two-Face takes over as the Vigilante of Gotham, goes nuts. He was already nuts, but goes nuts again. Jason Todd, during Battle for the Cowl. The people that are good following him, Tim Drake and Dick Grayson, they don't want the mantle. They inherently know the flaw of being Batman.
Well, if I may,
Azrael goes nuts.
Well,
everybody that's taken over for him.
Well, no, the thing about Batman, right, is that you noticed you claim, like, you were talking before about the mantle. Batman is the mantle, right? Mm-hmm. Batman is the mantle. There's really no Batman character. You could say Bruce Wayne, or like Batman. And we're talking about a hero. But a part of a hero is that you can connect with them, that they're human, but they do greater things than a human. Batman is only human in name. He doesn't do anything human-like.
Yeah, but here's the thing about
Batman,
we still don't know who Gina Drake is.
He's incredible, but see, here's the thing. You're claiming that either Batman or Superman are better than Gina Drake because they're more influenced.
Because they're more known.
Because they're more known, right?
I'm arguing that Superman's the better hero.
With more time, things get better. Gina Drake came out as very recently, like last year, which when writing is just generally better now.
1 second before, just to continue, I don't want to take away too much time, but I want you guys, because you all prefaced with, I guess it sounds more like you guys are arguing characters as opposed to the hero, like the hero standard. Well, save for you for a bit, a couple things, but as opposed to just the characters, the derivation from the comic books that they're in. Well, the amalgamation of all the information that, especially you guys have a lot of history to draw from. I don't think you have as much, but you still have to make it a point to let me know who she is. Right. So while making a comparison for what makes a good character, take into consideration the importance of what makes the best hero, and all that entails. So I'm throwing that in there. Continue,
Well,
guys.
all right,
Right,
so I'm
right,
just gonna
right.
cut you
So
off.
wait,
real
no,
quick.
wait, I wanna go-
So with Gina Drake, right?
No,
We're talking about a hero is someone who accomplishes great things, and Gina Drake has definitely accomplished great things because when she joins up with the Guardians 3000, what is she facing against? She's facing against these massive aliens who have taken over the entire universe, and even greater than that, she's facing what? She's facing what? She's facing nature. She's facing time. She's facing time. She's facing a reboot. Something that no human can ever bet. When was the last time Batman ever said, I'm gonna stop a reboot? When was the last time Superman ever said, I'm gonna stop a reboot? They've never done that. Gina Drake, on the other hand, her very essence is that she can save her entire universe because only she has the ability to remember and to be able to use that information to move forward and take these already great characters and bring them to new heights. Superman and Batman, while they have abilities that can make them do things that are greater than other people, right? They have limits. With Gina Drake, her power, her very power is etched into the universe that she exists in. She is the universal singularity, which is why she always remembers things. Which is why Korvac, who is this massive antagonist. Massive antagonist remembers her and knows her specifically because she is a very special place in the entire universe. Superman dies, he gets replaced. Batman dies, he gets replaced. Gina Drake, on the other hand, is a singularity.
I follow your point, but I do want to hear how Batman plays into the. So I do want to hear.
All right. Well, first, I just wanted to say that one of my first points was that I've seen people get into hour-long conversation just about the psychology behind Batman. There's a 300-page book just based around the psychology of Batman. And just with the psychology of Batman, not only does that affect Bruce Wayne and Batman himself, but it also affects those surrounding him, such as Alfred and Jason Todd, Nightwing, Tim Drake. And nowhere near could your nobody character or could Superman get any interesting than that. I'm not done yet. Plus, Batman is more known in the general audience just for being far more successful and far more likable than both of your characters, and there's
I wouldn't argue he's more likable.
It takes hour-long characters to be able to take a very boring character to make them seem complex.
He's the more merchandisable
which is why when
character.
people can
and
have
that's not making him a better hero.
About Superman and Batman, you have to have those conversations because essentially all they are is what they do.
Superman is
they are not characters;
on
they
more
are
than one
ideas.
occasion.
And because of Batman's little
Final crisis.
Complex.
All right,
Zero.
that's time, guys. That's time. Wow. But okay. Well, first off, let me just officially. Okay, that was the end of round one, and I'm just gonna take you guys through some of my points. Some of the points I basically drew from you guys. I'm gonna say Gina Drake seems a lot cooler to me now, but there's just not enough there for her to be considered the best comic book hero. Between the two of you guys, it's pretty difficult because your arguments. I guess you guys were saying good things about the characters, but it kind of got lost in the bad things about the characters. But that said, I mean, because you did hit him with the 77 years of being boring, but then it's like, really? And then you kind of threw into, and I like the punch it was with the points, but then it kind of geared up for his point ultimately, because you said that he's been boring since like in television, syndication, comic books, things of that nature, so on and so forth. But then you basically mentioned like what it is that the character represents. And it's not. I mean, I think it's a little unfair to say it's more. And this is really just based on what you ended up saying about. I mean, he wants to be human, but then he has all these powers, and he's saved the multiverse a number of times. I mean, in the end, it makes it that.
Yeah,
so
that was the one thing I didn't like about your argument.
Yeah,
I'm not
gonna lie.
Final crisis.
I will say too, and for the next round, hopefully, like just I'll jump in a little bit more just to keep the time wise fair, because I do think also I just want to make this point because I am giving the point to Sean, but I will acknowledge the fact that I don't think that you got adequate time to really make your full point.
Yeah.
So I will recognize that ultimately, but for the round, this round goes to Sean for now.